that follow through this, but this is the main rollout event per se, because the issue with branding is also, it has to be imbibed and it has to be lived. So it's not just a point in time, it's a long drawn process ultimately. So today is obviously a big part of that process, but going forward it will just continue. There's a series of initiatives that will continue over the next year. In terms of costs, I think we talked about this at the last financial results. Roughly, we spent about 1.5% of our last quarter's margins on the launch, and there's a little bit more that we've spent in the previous quarter, and that we will spend in the next quarter. So, last quarter we spent about $1 million+, and there's more to it, but that's roughly where it is. There's three things with it. One is need for capital, which we don't have touch with at this point. The second thing is the overhead of listing in NASDAQ, because there's also things like Sarbanes-Oxley that come in which cost a lot of money, and especially when we don't have need for capital, we don't want to do that, add that overhead. And the third thing is our relevance to a market like NASDAQ, where the average market cap of companies are very different than a BSE or an NSE. And we think we should only list in NASDAQ when we'll be a relevant part of NASDAQ. Because, or when all things come together, that is, we have need for capital, will be a relevant part of NASDAQ, and it's worthwhile to have the overheads. At this point, that's not the case, so at least in the foreseeable future, there's no plans.